Have you ever noticed how life gets heavy without us even realizing it? Things pile up on the outside and on the inside, and suddenly everything feels like too much. Too much noise, too much wanting, too many scattered thoughts. But what if it didn't need to be so much? What if silence held more answers than rushing? What if lightness was in what you choose not to carry? Japanese minimalism isn't just about having less, it's about seeing more. Seeing what remains when you let go, the beauty of a clean space, the sound of a footstep on an empty floor, the peace that comes when everything around you makes sense. And nothing is superfluous, there's no magic, no ready-made formula, but there is intention, there is presence, there is the now. Have you ever wondered why you feel tired in a crowded place? Have you considered that perhaps your mind is trying to breathe amidst the excess? Sometimes what's missing isn't more time, it's less noise. The way the Japanese take care of their homes, fold a shirt, clean the floor, it's not just a habit, it's care, it's a choice to see differently. Maybe it's not about changing everything, but about starting to notice what remains, what weighs you down, what truly matters. And when you start to notice and the rest starts to fade away, do you feel that too? And when you start to notice, the rest starts to fade away, do you feel that too? The feeling that something needs to be different, but not knowing where to start. There's a silent urgency inside you, a desire to breathe better, to look around and not get lost, to stop, just stop for a few minutes, and not feel guilty about it. Japanese minimalism doesn't solve everything, but it brings you closer to what you might be looking for. It's not about having a white house with few pieces of furniture. It's about not needing to hide from your own space. It's about feeling that where you live gives back the silence that was gradually stolen from you. Everything has a place, and what doesn't have one either is extra or weighs you down. Have you noticed that? When each thing returns to its place, your mind also returns. When you clean without rushing a corner of the house, something inside calms down. It's not a coincidence. It's care. It's not productivity, it's not aesthetics, it's not a rule. It's just what happens when the excess goes away. You hear your own voice more clearly, the one that was muffled by distractions, goals, urgencies. In Japan, there are those who fold clothes in a way that resembles prayer. There are those who sweep the floor as if they were sweeping away the weight of the day. And it's not an exaggeration, it's presence. It's the attention we lost when we turned everything into a rush. Do you feel like you're living on autopilot? Maybe it's not just tiredness. Maybe your soul is asking for a pause, and silence begins in the detail, in a glass that makes sense to be there, in an empty corner that doesn't need to be filled, in a wall that breathes because it's not occupied. Have you ever wondered why you keep what you don't use? Have you tried letting go without fear of needing it later? In Japanese minimalism, letting go is not losing. It's trusting that what remains is enough. It's looking at less and feeling more. Sometimes you think you need more space. But in reality, what's missing is letting go of what occupies it unnecessarily, because what weighs on the outside also weighs on the inside. And we don't always notice. You know that strange tiredness that appears even when the day wasn't difficult? It could be accumulation. Too much stuff, too much stimulation, too many obligations. In Japan, there is the concept of danshari. It's an internal movement of refusing the unnecessary, letting go of what binds you, and releasing what no longer serves you. Not just objects, but stories, guilt, thoughts that go around in circles. Have you ever tried sitting in silence in a clean and empty environment? Not to meditate, just to be there. It's uncomfortable at first, because we've gotten used to the noise. But after a while, the body relaxes. The mind slows down, time seems less aggressive, and little by little you realize that it's not about organizing, it's about resting within your own space. Each thing you let go of gives you back a little peace. Each choice not to accumulate gives you a little more clarity. Some people think that living with little is depriving yourself. But it's not deprivation, it's liberation. You don't need to carry everything, you don't need to prove anything, you don't need to keep what doesn't make sense just because it once did. Japanese minimalism doesn't demand renunciation. It invites you to a kind of lightness that comes from within. You let go little by little, until silence starts to feel more natural than noise. And then you start to hear what you feel better, because now there's space. Deep down you already know what needs to leave your life, but maybe you're waiting for the right moment, the permission, the courage to say, I don't need this anymore, and it's okay, there's no rush. But each still object, each cluttered corner, each endless list, they say something. They talk about what you're trying to control, or hide, or forget. And when you choose to let go, you're saying to yourself, I can trust the now. I can live with less and feel whole. Do you feel that too? Clarity comes when you stop running away from what is essential. And the essential never makes a mess, never shouts, never takes up space by force. It just stays in the right corner, at the right time, with lightness. Your eyes deserve to rest, your body deserves silence, your mind deserves space to breathe. In Japan, the concept of ma speaks exactly of that. Emptiness as part of beauty, the pause as part of the rhythm. It's not what's there that matters. It's the space between one thing and another. Can you see what's between everything around you? Can you notice the interval between one task and another, between one thought and another? It is in this space that freedom lives, and you don't need to change everything now. Just looking differently already changes things, already relieves. Start with a corner, a small decision, a choice not to accumulate what has no function. Little by little, you will feel that the house becomes lighter, and in some hard-to-explain way, so do you, because what we organize outside echoes inside. What we clean transforms the way we are in the world, and it's not about aesthetics. It's about feeling that your space doesn't distance you from yourself, that it gives you back, welcomes you, allows you to stop. Have you allowed yourself that? Or are you always postponing the moment to be at peace with the simple? Sometimes all that's missing is less, fewer objects, fewer promises, less weight, just enough to breathe without effort, to wake up and not feel the day pushing you, to look around and not get lost. Japanese minimalism is not a magazine concept, it's real life, with dust, with time, with silence, but mainly with intention. Do you know what really matters to you today, and what is still occupying a place that shouldn't be? If you are silent now, for a few seconds, what comes to your mind first? That's what it's about. What appears when everything else is silent, and maybe you don't even know how to name what you feel. You just know that there's something stuck inside. An anxiety that doesn't come from the outside. A restlessness that doesn't go away even when you try to distract yourself. You try to keep everything under control. You tidy up, reorganize, buy another box, another object to hide the mess. But deep down, you know, it's not organization that's missing, it's space, it's silence, not the silence of sound, but that of the mind. The one that only comes when you stop insisting on filling all the voids. What prevents you from letting things go? Do you keep what you don't use, for fear of needing it one day? Or because you're afraid of the emptiness that remains in its place? In Japanese culture, letting go is part of the path. They don't cling so strongly to the material. They take care, but they don't depend. They let go, without making it a drama. Can you imagine living with less and still feeling complete? Can you imagine your house with less furniture, fewer things, fewer distractions, and even so, more comfort, more clarity? There comes a moment when everything that is left over starts to suffocate. You look around and nothing seems to make sense. It's all there, but nothing really serves you. You keep it out of habit, out of attachment, out of fear. But what really sustains you doesn't weigh you down. What nourishes you doesn't occupy by force. Japanese minimalism is not about aesthetics. It's about freeing the gaze, freeing the body, freeing the heart. It's about allowing yourself to live in a lighter way. Not because it's beautiful, but because you can no longer carry what binds you. Have you ever tried cleaning an environment only with your hands, in silence, without a cell phone, without music, just you, the space, and the time? Do you notice what changes? The mind starts to become more present. Thoughts align with gestures, and what before seemed just a task turns into care. Cleaning the house, folding clothes, washing a glass, simple things, but which, done with presence, give you back a feeling of peace that you didn't even remember anymore. In Japan, many schools teach children to clean their own classroom, not as punishment, but as part of the process of awareness, of the body, of the space, of the collective. Do you realize how cleaning goes beyond the physical, how it also cleans the mental? How do you feel after cleaning a place that has been still for a long time? It's not just visual, it's emotional, because there is something that changes when you get involved with the now, with the simple, with what is within your reach. You don't need to run away to find peace, you just need to look around with more intention. Remove what doesn't serve, stay with what welcomes you. Choose what gives you back presence. The Japanese routine carries a silent wisdom. The tea served calmly, the contained gesture, the pause between one speech and another. Nothing is in vain. There is time in the gesture, there is meaning in the space, there is beauty in the absence of excess. Have you noticed how the rush steals the beauty of the day? How the excess hides what is essential? The feeling of lightness is not linked to what you conquer, but to what you decide to leave behind. That's how you start to breathe better. That's how peace enters, not with effort, but with space. There are many things you keep because you don't know what to do with them. But does it really need an answer? Can't detachment come before certainty? In the Japanese concept of motenai, there is the awareness of not wasting, but also gratitude for what you already have. Use it until the end. Value what exists, not out of attachment, but out of respect. Have you respected what you have? Or have you accumulated in an attempt to fill a void that isn't even material? Accumulation is not a sign of abundance. It's a sign of fear, of lack of clarity, of absence of pause. Do you feel like you need everything you have? Or do you feel that everything you have takes away a little of the calm you seek? Inner peace begins when you decide to stop filling what you don't need. It starts when the closet breathes, when the shelf doesn't weigh you down, when the floor shows itself, the house speaks, and the body listens. You know that. You feel that. The path to emotional clarity is not in quantity. It's in the rhythm, in the intention, in the pause between things. There is no rule. There is no formula. But there is a direction. Less, lighter, more meaningful. Do you know what is left over in your life now? What occupies a place that no longer has a reason? Do you really need to keep that? Or just didn't have the courage to let go? There's no rush, but there is a call, and it always comes from the same place, from tiredness, from the desire to feel whole with little, from the desire to find yourself again in the simple. The silence is already there, you just need to make space for it to enter. So tell me, what is still there taking up space but is no longer part of you? What do you insist on keeping, even knowing that it no longer serves you? You feel it, right? That there is too much stuff, that there is a lack of air. But if you stopped for a few minutes now, just to look around, more calmly, without rushing to solve, without the obligation to change everything, just observe. What bothers you? What weighs you down? What screams in the middle of the silence you wanted to hear? You already know where to start. You don't need a list nor a step-by-step guide. Just intention, just presence. Choose a corner, an object, a gesture, and let go, that's all. Let go to see what remains afterwards, to discover what is yours when the rest goes away. If what you seek is inner peace, emotional clarity, and that freedom that no one gave you, but you know it exists, then stay. Go deep. This path is not beautiful on the outside. It is necessary on the inside, and it has already begun. Now it's up to you. Share this blessed video so that it can touch and help other people like you and me. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being part of our faith community. If you would like to support our channel a little more, consider becoming a member of our channel. I leave here 2 more videos so that you can continue your search. Thank you and God bless everyone. See you later.